Welcome again, friends. In this slightly long poem, Christabel, we are again here with the lines 124 to 134 we have done in the previous video, and there we have seen that Christabel takes Geraldine to her palace where her father Sir Leoline is sleeping because he is not so well, and they stealthily enters the castle, and again, so free from danger, free from fear. Notice this alliteration. Alliteration is here about their entry in the castle without any difficulty. So free from danger, free from fear, they crossed the court, right glad they were. And they, in this manner, after passing the threshold where that damsel Geraldine fell down due to the fear from iron, and then she again rose up, and then they, free from danger, free from fear, crossed the court. Here, free from danger and free from fear is emphasized because we all know that entering in our own place is not a matter of fear, but entering that ill figure, entering of that ill figure Geraldine had some fears, and that fear she had in her heart, which Christabel did not know. So they crossed the court, right glad they were, and as they crossed the court, both of them were glad to arrive there, and Christabel devoutly cried to the lady by her side, "Praise be the Virgin all divine." And then, after the safe arrival in the palace, Christabel, in a sense of devotion, told that Lady Geraldine, which was by her side, beside her, "Praise be the Virgin all divine." We should praise the Virgin Mary, that is divine, and that has helped them and helped them reach from that forest, and their safe arrival is there. So she told her to praise Virgin Mary, but who hath rescued them from thy distress? So Christabel said that Virgin Mary has rescued you from your distress and from your problem. But as we can perceive that Geraldine is not a figure who can adore or worship God, refuses in the manner and says, "Alas, alas, said Geraldine, I cannot speak for weariness." In the pretext of weariness, she skips Christabel's desire to sing in praise of Virgin Mary, and she says that I am tired and I cannot speak. So she didn't pray. So free from danger, free from fear, they crossed the court, right glad they were. Then again, in a ballad manner, this thing is repeated, that they reached there free from danger and free from fear. They crossed the court, right glad they were. They were glad that they had reached there. Outside her kennel, the mastiff old lay fast asleep in moonshine cold, and there they see out that old mastiff which Father Leoline had in his castle was sleeping outside her kennel, and she was fast asleep in that cold night, moonshine cold night. The mastiff, that bitch, the mastiff old did not awake, and she did not awake by their arrival or by the sound of their footsteps. Yet she an angry moan did make, and she she made an angry moan. Surely she made an angry moan, though she didn't awake. And what can ail the mastiff bitch? And here one thing is noticeable, that she never had grumbled in arriving of Christabel, but this is for the first time that she has grumbled and made an angry moan. And the poet says, what can ail the mastiff bitch, and what might be the reason of mastiff bitches making this angry moaning sound? This is a thing to be answered, thing to give a thought. Never till now she uttered yell beneath the eye of Christabel, which I was telling earlier, that she never uttered yell beneath the eye of Christabel. Whenever Christabel came, she never reacted like this and grumbled and making this angry moaning sound. But this is perhaps for the first time she has grumbled. Perhaps it is the owlet's screech, and here the poet himself guesses that it may be that owlet's screeching sound which has made her grumbling like this. For what can ail the mastiff bitch? The mastiff bitch might be making this grumbling sound out of owlet's screeching sound. But this we may think that since Geraldine was accompanying Christabel and she was an ill or some what we can say bad figure, and dogs have certain tendencies to know about the ill people, and they grumble by seeing them. So they passed the hall that echoes still. Pass as lightly as you will. And then they passed the hall, and in that silent hall, the echoes of the sound of their foot were echoing. And pass as lightly as you will, though they were passing as lightly as they could, yet the sound of their passing was echoed there in that silent hall. The brands were flat, the brands were dying. And there in that hall, to defy the cold, the woods which were burning had become flat. They were almost burnt. The brands were dying, and that woods which were burning earlier were about to die, about to be finished, amid their own white ashes lying, and on those burnt woods white ashes were lying there. But when the lady passed, there came a tongue of light, a fit of flame. But we see a thing to be surprised, that when that lady Geraldine passed by the burning wood, there came a tongue of light, a fit of flame, and the woods suddenly had kindled or illumined for a while. A tongue of light was there, a fit of flame was there. Suddenly, a flame arose there when she passed by the wood. And Christabel saw the lady's eye, and that in the when in the darkness of in the hall, the woods suddenly burnt and the flame arose. Christabel there saw the lady's eye, and nothing else saw she thereby. And in that illumination of the flames, she could have a glance. Christabel had a glance of Geraldine's eye, and nothing else she could see there after that, save the boss of the shield of Sir Leoline Tall. And in that illumination, she could only see the shield of Sir Leoline Tall, which hung in a murky old niche in the wall. She could see the figure of Sir Leoline Tall, which was hung there on the wall, and there in that murky old niche in the wall, she could see the shield of Sir Leoline Tall. Oh, softly tread, said Christabel, my father seldom sleepeth well. And then Christabel, when we can perceive or think that Geraldine, when she had fear to be exposed as an ill figure by the illumination of light, she tried to go fast. Then Christabel says her to go softly, to walk softly, to tread softly and gently. And Christabel says that, Geraldine, please go softly, because my father can seldom sleep well. He has problem while sleeping. So here we again can see that the supernatural element Geraldine can be understood, that she is having ill intentions, and there her reality is not exposed, but the reader can think that she is somewhat, she has some supernatural qualities, supernatural elements in her, which Christabel is still unaware of. So, friends, we have done these lines and tried to explain these lines in a better manner. You just please read at home and try to interpret in the light of the comments I have tried to make, and we shall do further lines in our next video. Thank you.